Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am just jumping on here real quick because I know I said I was going to go live yesterday, but I wasn't thinking about it. It was Halloween. And so I know everybody was out and about doing what they do on Halloween. So I just wanted to jump on here real quick this morning while I have some free time before I have to start work. So yesterday, I'm just jumping right into it because I really don't want to waste no time. So yesterday, I was talking about how childhood trauma can be have a major issue in our current relationships that we have today. And a lot of times we suppress these things, and we know, I believe we know that we carry certain issues, and we try to suppress it. No, I'm not saying everybody. I am not saying everybody. I am only speaking to the people that dealing with childhood trauma, because that's how they label it. So if you don't consider it trauma, don't consider it trauma, but that's how they label it. And it's basically, to break it down, it's just basically dealing with issues that you may have had with your parents, with your siblings, or whomever you grew up with as a kid, okay, that may have had some effect on you, and you carry the tendencies of what you may have dealt with back when you was a child. So if you don't want to consider it trauma, don't consider it trauma, okay? So I was speaking on yesterday that I believe that you must deal with those issues because it does have an effect in your current relationships, whether you want to um, believe it or not. Especially if you think back on anytime your spouse has come to you and raised an issue about something that has affected them, and you may have shunned it, dismissed it, or whatever you may have done. Go back to those conversations and really think about it, like, maybe, just maybe, my spouse was right. And I'm only saying that because this is relevant. This is a relevant thing. And I'm saying that because I listen, when I learn, I teach. When I learn, I teach. And that's what I do. I learn for myself first, and then I go out and I share it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing because I feel like it's very relevant and it's very present in this moment, and people don't talk about it. Well, people do talk about it. I'm going to talk about it today because it's a thing. It's a relevant thing, of childhood traumas and things that we deal with, and that affects our livelihood with our partners. And some relationships crumble and fall. Some marriages end because of childhood trauma, or because of issues that we may have with our parents. So you have women, may have issues with not having a father around, or may have had an issue with their father being around. Maybe their dad was present but not present. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever felt to be in a place where somebody's body was present, that you saw them every day, but their spirit wasn't there, and it was like voided out, it was like empty. That is traumatizing to people. We may not think that it's traumatizing, we may not even view it as it, but growing up, especially if you continuously being in that environment, you're going to grow up feeling like that's normal, or you're going to always feel like there's a void, somewhere. There's a lack of connection that you may have had with your father because he was present but not present. He was there but not there. Okay, so you start forming things in your mind. I don't know if you would feel like that's normal, or you would tell yourself that I'm not going to have a husband that's going to be disconnected. And so now everything I'm learning, listen, I'm learning that everything that we say we don't want is what the universe gives us. Okay? Nobody is really talking about that. The fact that the very thing that we carry here and we don't want, we constantly say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have that. I don't want that. Do you realize that is the very thing that shows up in your life? Like, isn't that crazy? The very things that we say we don't want, we say it out of our mouth. But in the inside, it's a different feeling. And I'm learning that what we feel is what we create. Okay, we can speak whatever we want to speak. Yes, that is true. You can speak it, but a lot of times it's what we feel is what the universe picks up on, is because a feeling is a part of a frequency, and everything is about frequency and energy. And so your feelings create some type of energy, so you can say whatever you want to say. But your feelings and everything is going to bring you what you want. So I just had to throw that in there. But anyway, so that's just a female, that's just a woman, young girl growing up with an absent father, but yet he's present. Or she can bump heads with her mom, where they don't get along because they're so much alike and they don't get along. So, you create this issue with your mom, like whatever that is, it carries over as an adult. It just does. And the crazy thing is, the things that you butt your head with your mom, you carry those same tendencies, and you end up being and doing the very same thing that your mom was doing. So that's what I mean by, you are going to carry the tendencies of your parents, whether you believe it or not. And whether it's good or bad, either way, it is going to affect you. Just the bottom line, okay? It is going to show up in your relationships. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what type of relationship you have, it's going to show up. And the most important thing we're talking about, though, we're talking about relationships, a husband and a wife, or whatever. If you have, whatever partner you have in life, that is going to, don't you want to have a harmonized, beautiful marriage, beautiful relationship? So why not tap into the childhood traumas that is creating you from growing and evolving? You think you're growing, you think you're evolving, you think you're moving forward, but yet you might not be. Yet it's going to surface. One day it's going to surface, and you're going to be like, where did this come from? No, that thing been brewing. That thing been growing. You know how sometimes it take a plant a long time to grow, and just one day it's a sprout out, bam, leaves, new baby leaves growing up, sprouting out everywhere. But that thing hadn't been growing in a long time. It's just one day. One day it start growing crazy. That's how it is. So who's to say when it's gonna grow, when it's gonna come up? I'm only speaking that because, listen, me and my husband was reading this book right here. This book is The Inner Works of Relationships, and it talks about childhood trauma. And that's what it says. First things first is dealing with your childhood traumas, dealing with the inner child that has never been healed, that has never been, dealt with. That child still lives on the inside of you. Even though you're an adult in your body, but you are carrying that little girl, that little boy that never was healed, that never dealt with the pains and the issues, never, even if you say you dealt with it, sometimes we still carry that aura with us, and it still has an effect on us because it's sewn in our fiber. It's sewn deep down in our fiber, especially from a baby to a toddler to a child. You grow up with these things. It's sewn in you. It's sewn in you. But it doesn't mean that you can't heal from it, though, because the first thing to me, healing, is admitting and acknowledging that there is an issue. Once you acknowledge it, it changes things. It literally changes things. Once you shine some light on that thing and start working on it, once you start working on it, you're going to pluck it up, because that's the goal. The goal is to pluck it up. The goal is to get rid of it. The goal is to replant something in its place. That's what the goal is. But most people are afraid. Most people are afraid of pain. Most people are afraid of reliving these things. But it's pain and healing. Okay, it is pain and healing. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. Y'all see that photo back there? That's something that I'm so proud of because earlier this year, I came in, I did a conference. Let me reintroduce myself because I'm a life coach, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an evangelist. I'm just all of that, and so proud of that. So I have it still up on my wall, and it's a constant reminder that I was obedient and I did what I was supposed to do. Okay. So anyway, but yes, sorry about that. I had to step away for a second. But so the whole goal is I just want to just to say, if your relationship is important to you, if you love your wife, love your husband, and your relationship is important to you, and you've invested a lot of time in your relationship, why not invest more in your relationship by dealing with your personal issues that you may have that is affecting your relationship? If your relationship is important to you, that should be something that you are willingly ready to do. And it don't have anything to you. Listen, I'm talking about you doing you. I'm talking about you tapping into whatever you got going on. Don't worry about what your spouse got on or your partner got going on. No, get you. Start working on your things, because when you start working on your things, it's going to maybe help them tap into what they may have going on. You know what I'm saying? So if your relationship is important to you, I believe that this is another investment. It's another investment to really tap into the inside of you and start healing the issues that you carry, that is the tendencies that you carry into your relationship that will cause harm, will cause you to lose your spouse, or cause you to, what I'm saying, not be able to evolve and grow. Who wants to be stagnant in a relationship? No, the purpose is growing and evolving and learning and discovering things. You know what I'm saying? Because if that little kid is going to hold you back, that those tendencies, those issues that you carry in your life is going to hold you back. I swear, you feel like you're moving. It seems like you're moving, but a lot of times we're not. A lot of times we are held back. We could be a lot further on in life if we just deal with issues that is causing us problems in our relationships. This book right here, listen, I think we only on chapter 2. Okay, it's a lot of work. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of information in here. And my husband purchased this. It's the inner works of relationships. Okay, um, if you're not ready though, don't even worry about this. But you got to be ready. You got to be ready to tap into this. Okay, I was talking about yesterday how you owning up to the fact that you may have some issues. You may not even look at it that way, but look at it that way. Look at it and think like, dang, do I act like that? Do I really act like my mom? I do act like my dad, or I do act like my mom, or I do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the very thing that I said I wasn't gonna do, I found myself doing it. So you have to check it. You have to really check it, and then once you check it and shine a light on it, then you'll be able to adjust it. Then you'll be able to let listen. You can even speak to it and be like, listen, okay, you no longer serve any purpose here. Okay, so I'm going to archive you and I'm going to send you back to where you come from. You don't have to, once you acknowledge it, once you realize it, you can pack it up. because chances are it didn't belong to you in the first place. You can literally pack it up in your mind, in your spirit, and you can send it off to the light. Just send it off to the light. And you have to believe it in here that it's leaving, that you're getting rid of it. And it takes practice, it takes action. Even though you pack it up, you have to be aware when it slipped back in. When it slipped back in, you have to be aware of it and be like, nope, nope, because you're not about to come in here and wreak havoc here. You know what I mean? So it really takes work. But is it worth it? Okay, is your relationship worth you doing the inner work? If you in this thing, if you in your relationship for years after years, listen, I've been married 19 years this year. 19 years. Been with my husband for 24 years. Do I think doing the inner work is worth it? I absolutely do. Why? Because I have invested a lot of time in this relationship. He has invested time in this relationship. So if things creep into our relationship and it's causing issues, it's our responsibility to do the work. It's our responsibility to tap into whatever issues it is and get rid of it, because the point of it, we want to move forward in life. We want to grow, we want to evolve, and these things, inner issues, will cause you to be right there, stuck right there, because you can't get over the hurdle. But once you figure out what it is, then you'll be able to get over the hurdle. So I just wanted to jump on here real quick and just say, do the work. Do the inner work. Work on you. Tap into what it is that may be causing some issues with you and your relationship, because you could very well be mirroring the very thing that you said you didn't want in your life. And remember, the very thing that we say we don't want is the very thing that we draw to us. And if you don't believe me, just look over your life and analyze the things that happen in your life and think about the things that you said you didn't want and it showed up anyway. Okay, so that thing is real. And if you don't have to believe me, you just pay attention to your own life. Okay, so listen, I gotta go. I just had a short period of time because I said I was going to go live yesterday and I didn't. So early this morning, I'm here. Listen, to all the people that is going to be looking at the replay, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for subscribing. So thank you so much for liking. Listen, happy November. Okay, new challenges, new ideas. New prosperity. You're healthy, you're wealthy, you're loved, okay? You're happy. You're everything. You're everything that you say you are. You're everything that you believe you are. And remember, what you are feeling, the universe picks up on. So what is your feeling? If you're feeling down and low, that's how your life gonna be. If you're feeling upbeat and happy, then your universe is gonna give you everything that you're putting out there. All that good energy should multiply and come back. All the good energy multiply and come back to you. Okay. One love. One love. One love.